These good cops humiliated corrupt cops.
He's under arrest and for disorderly conduct.
Public property, dipshit! What the fuck is wrong with you?
You doing exactly what you're doing is not helping your career out.
Have a nice day, officer.
You too, sir.
Hope you learned something today.
On September 6, 2023, Officer Patrick Akers pulled over a driver for allegedly failing to signal a lane change. While this seemed like a routine stop, it was actually an evil revenge plan by the officer.
How's it going? Officer Akers, New Braunfels Police Department. Okay.
I know who you are.
That's fine.
You're pulling me over for flipping you off. Yes, you are. You are retaliating against me. You turned your sirens on and everything, ran over here like a crazy person.
Okay, well, ma'am, the reason why you're being contacted is you failed to signal a lane change when you flicked me off.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and step out of the car.
Please don't let, he's hurt me before. Please don't let him do anything to me, please. Please. Please, please, don't. I flipped him off because he's been illegal to me. Don't let him hurt me.
As you might have guessed, Officer Patrick and the driver, Brittany Torvino, had a very abusive history. Brittany was previously unlawfully arrested by Officer Patrick, an arrest which greatly traumatized her. So she desperately needed a savior, knowing that he would use any means to make her life a living hell.
You're under arrest for failed to signal lane change.
I'm under arrest for failing to signal a lane change?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm under arrest for failing to signal a lane change?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. You guys just know this is bullshit. You guys just know it is. You guys know it is.
Arresting someone for a simple traffic violation, especially when they were innocent, uncovered the deputy's ill intentions. But luckily for her, Brittany's cries for help would eventually be heard, as the reporting supervisor, Sergeant Scott, was done with his deputy's power trip.
What's that? Yeah, she has a driver's license, but...
I'm gonna turn this off. No.
Yeah, she has a driver's license, but...
Why are we arresting her for a traffic infraction?
Well, she comes down the street, comes right towards me. As I'm walking back by the car, didn't do nothing, she flicks me off. And then as she does that, she gets on the lane, fails to signal lane change. See? You guys, it's gonna be an issue?
Huh?
You think it's gonna be an issue?
Given your history,
Yeah.
so any other person you would write a ticket to, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you have to treat every interaction. So if you would normally write a ticket to this person for this, just because that in the past you've done this, and this, right? This is something that you would normally write a ticket for, then let's write a ticket for.
Yeah. You want me to go ahead, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
So write the ticket, just fill it out.
The supervisor ended Officer Patrick's tyranny, and he issued Brittany a citation. She was scarred by the incident, and she shared the arrest on her YouTube channel. It gained thousands of views, and the officer received a huge backlash from the community, enough to keep him as far away from Brittany as possible.
This is Kayla.
Hi, Kayla. Okay, so I'm just wondering if you could answer a question for me.
I can try.
So there's this YouTube video online of an officer arresting a girl for failing to use her turn signal. Is he still employed?
No.
He's not?
No. He doesn't work here any longer.
Right.
Officer Akers resigned from the New Braunfels Sheriff's Office after the incident. However, he would join the St. Hedwig's Marshal Office 30 miles away to resume policing operations, much to the distaste of Brittany. Sergeant Scott was thanked for taming Deputy Patrick, but the next supervisor was insulted by his corrupt deputy, who was humiliated in the most embarrassing way possible.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a nice day, officer.
You too, sir.
Hope you learned something today.
On January 4th, 2019, a man was taking pictures of the exterior of the Toms River Municipal Court when he was approached by an officer with a very sinister intent.
What are we doing?
Taking some pictures? Working on a story for the township?
You're working on a story for the township.
Well, about the township for me.
For you?
Yes.
What are you making, a documentary?
It's a news story.
A news story?
Yeah.
You have ID?
I always have ID.
Okay, can you provide that?
No.
You can do whatever you want, but as far as, I just need to identify who you are.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I do, sir.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
And what law is that?
Well, it came in as a suspicious person. Anytime we
Okay.
investigate as to somebody calling in about suspicious, we need to at least identify who it is we spoke to. You're not in trouble in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, then I don't need to give ID.
Well, you do.
What law is
because
that?
I need to know who you are.
What law is
If I'm
that?
investigating a crime, it's actually called obstruction if you fail to provide
Wrong.
documentation. No, sir,
Quote,
that's not wrong.
quote that statute.
I already
Quote
told you
obstruction.
what it is.
No, apparently you don't.
Sir, look, I'm not looking.
I have to commit an unlawful act and prevent you from performing your unlawful duty to be in violation of obstruction.
Currently, right now.
So what's the unlawful act?
Right now, it came in as a suspicious
Okay,
person.
and what statute is suspicious?
Police can ask for an ID if and only if they have a reasonable suspicion that you've committed a crime. Taking pictures of a public building or supposedly appearing suspicious wasn't reasonable suspicion that a crime was committed. It wasn't clear if the officer knew this and just wanted to threaten the man, but he would regret his actions once his supervisor arrived.
And listen, again, if you fail to provide your documentation, you can be placed under arrest for obstruction.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
You know so.
So I'm going to ask you again, can you please provide your documentation? Otherwise, you are going to be placed under arrest for obstruction. And here's the other problem. Now you lied to me, so now I have a concern as to whether you're being truthful and honest with me. Do you understand?
Okay, well, you're not being truthful and honest with me because you haven't quoted a law yet that I'm required to show you ID.
I already explained to you what I need to
Supervisor.
do. If you fail to, there's actually a supervisor right there.
Okay.
Okay? And I don't need to have a supervisor anyway because I asked you for who you are.
Well, I'm
You
asking
lied
for
to
a
me about
supervisor.
Who you are, and I
did not lie about who I am.
I explained to you what happens if you fail to provide documentation. Now, if I find out you're lying to me, now you could be charged with hindering.
Do we have a
which
sergeant?
means giving failed documentation.
No.
You have
What's
two
going on,
sergeants,
sir?
right?
Two?
Sergeant
Okay.
Perez, what's going on?
So what is your name and what is your information?
I'm not answering any questions. Personal information.
Okay, well then you're going to be placed under arrest for obstruction.
And what
Okay,
law
like
is that,
sir?
Sergeant?
He doesn't need to explain it to you.
Well,
I
he
already
does
told you
actually.
that's what it is.
He actually does.
Frank, just hold on a second.
So let's find out.
Can I just ask you what you're doing here?
Yes, sir. I'm in public taking pictures of a public building, expressing my First Amendment right to freedom of press.
Okay.
I'm here to actually file a complaint.
Okay. You have that right. You have all those rights. You just
Thank you. Well, he appears to tell me that I don't.
Now, just so you know, there are areas of this building that are posted.
Absolutely.
That are off limits.
Yep, like
All
the
right?
back of that parking lot there. It says
you
restricted area. Can't go back
enter
there.
Those areas or video those areas.
Absolutely.
Other than that, if you want to walk around with your camera, you can walk around with your camera.
And I don't need to show ID to do that.
You don't have to show ID right now. No, sir. All right, sir?
How's that?
Well, that's incorrect, actually, in that respect.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Is it?
That's
So your
different than
sergeant's
what you
wrong.
explained to my
So your sergeant's
sergeant
wrong?
from what we were going to.
So your sergeant's...
Frank, we're not going to get into an argument here.
Sure.
So we're all set,
Because
all right?
I was just threatened with arrest for not providing identification. It's a violation of Fourth Amendment.
All right, sir. But now we're clear on what's going on, right?
Is he?
Are we all clear?
Is he clear? Because I'm clear and you're clear.
Everybody here is clear, sir.
Very good, sir.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
Continue what you're doing.
I appreciate your
All
help.
right? You have a good day.
You too.
All right?
Thank you
We're
very
all
much.
clear, guys.
Thank you.
All right?
Have a nice day, officer.
You too, sir. Have a great
Hope you learned something today.
The supervisor shut down his deputy's arrogance in less than a minute, and he was left humbled. He stayed back and was lectured by the supervisor, who would again show him that he was supposed to serve and not oppress citizens.
We're all set. You guys are good? Frank, you're good?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jimmy.
By the way, officer, name and badge number, please.
Not right now, sir.
Excuse me. Is it in your policy to identify yourself? You engaged me. Sergeant, it's his policy to identify himself to me?
That's Officer Michelle, badge number 369. Sergeant Ruiz, badge number 339.
Appreciate it.
Those officers' badge numbers and names?
Oh, they didn't contact me. That's fine.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Walk of shame. Walk of shame.
This interaction was uploaded to YouTube and gained high traction, with the police department stating that the deputy's actions would be duly investigated. If you're enjoying this video, please leave a like and subscribe so we can make more like it. This supervisor handled the case professionally. However, the next supervisor disgraced his entire police department after trying to use his position to escape the law.
I'm not losing my career over you.
And I'm not losing my career either, so...
You doing exactly what you're doing is not helping your career out.
No, it's not. Well...
On November 13th, 2016, Montmorency County officers received a report of a reckless driver nearly crashing into multiple vehicles. So they pulled the driver over, who immediately identified himself as a lieutenant, a label he planned to use for his corrupt aim.
Can I see your license, registration, proof of insurance? Okay. You got your ID? Department ID? And your driver's license. reason why I'm stopping you is we got multiple reckless driving calls about you. Okay? And then when I'm following you, you're hitting the shoulder of the road. You been drinking? How many?
Just a couple.
Okay. Where are you reaching in the back for? I seen you reaching in the back. You have an open container back there?
I did, yeah.
Okay. You been drinking on the way here?
Just going.
You got your registration, proof of insurance? Do you have a firearm on you? Okay. Do you got your pistol? Are you a corrections officer or just deputy? Lieutenant? Okay. Alright, just take it right back to you.
The officers immediately identified his impairment as the cause of his reckless driving, and since he was a lieutenant at the Washtenaw County, this meant he had been a road safety hazard for over 200 miles. This was shocking behavior and didn't give a good image of the other officers in the county, but what he did next only worsened the situation.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you to step out of the vehicle. What would you like me to do?
Just let me go.
I can't. I had multiple phone calls. You'd be in the same situation if I was in the vehicle in your county, correct?
I don't know, but...
I've got multiple 911 calls about a reckless driver, plate and all matches, almost hitting vehicles. I get behind you. You hit the shoulder of the road twice.
Alright, just let me stay here. Okay?
You can't. I'm going to ask you nicely to step out of this vehicle. Brian, my hands are tied. If I let you go, I'm going to lose my career over you. You don't think I wouldn't?
No.
This is Northern Michigan. We're a small department. Okay, I'm going to ask you nicely to step out of the vehicle. You know I have my job to do. You know that.
Yeah, I know. And I just want you to...
And I understand your point, your position.
Okay,
Okay, I'm trying to be as cooperative and nice to you as I can. So, please step out of the vehicle for me. You know how this works.
I know. But
okay. So I'm asking you nicely.
I know you are, but just let me go. And
I'm not. I can't let you go. We're way past that point. You know this.
No, I don't.
You're a lieutenant. You know how this works.
Yeah, I do.
You would tell one of your deputies if they called you right on the side of the road.
No,
and they asked you what to do. So, if one of your deputies is in the position as I am right now, calling you as a lieutenant, Lieutenant, this is what I got. What should I do? You're just going to say let him go?
At this point, yes.
Why?
Why?
Just because. You're intoxicated. I know it. You both put alcohol in the vehicle that you stabbed in the back. I know it. You know it. I'm not losing my career over you.
You don't have to.
This will make me lose my career over you.
It won't.
So I'm going to ask you one more time. Step out of this vehicle nicely for me.
Just let me go.
Brian had shown his corrupt side by persuading the officer to basically sabotage his career. This obviously didn't sit well, as the officer wanted him to be accountable for his actions. But when he refused further, the officer forced him to take responsibility.
You know, the next thing, I'm going to go hands-on with you.
No,
and you're going to go to jail for R&O. You want that?
No, I don't want that.
Out of this vehicle right now.
Stop.
Why do you think I want to arrest a cop? We're not above the law.
I don't know.
Out of this vehicle now.
No, be it.
Out of this vehicle
no,
now.
Don't touch
Brian,
me.
out of this vehicle now.
Don't touch me.
Let's step out.
No,
you know this.
Me.
Out of this vehicle.
No.
Out of this vehicle. You are resisting an officer.
No,
you know
I'm
this.
Not. Just to think about it.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not losing my career over you. Out of this
I'm
vehicle.
not going to leave it either.
Quit pulling
I
away.
will go and pull over.
Quit.
No, hold on. I will go pull over and...
No, we're out of the vehicle now.
No, listen to me.
Brian, you're already resisting. Out.
No.
We just have to. Out.
Brian, go.
No, hold on, guys.
Brian.
One more time.
Step out of the vehicle.
No,
Brian.
one more time.
Step
Okay?
out
You're
of the
going to
vehicle.
get a fucking taser.
No.
Step out of the vehicle.
Can we talk about it?
Step out of the vehicle.
17, step it up.
Can we talk about it? Guys.
Step out of the vehicle.
You're getting a taser. Back up.
No.
Taser right now if you don't get out.
Make it look okay.
Out. Right now. Go to the front of my car. You're going to do field sobriety test for me.
No, just let me pull.
Brian, we're done with this.
Hold on.
Talk to me. Yes or no? Are you doing field sobriety tests?
All right. So if this was the other situation, what would you do?
I'm in a horrible situation.
I know. Just let me.
If I was drunk in your position and you pulled me over, I'd feel horrible. But I'm not going to resist.
I didn't resist.
We forcefully out to you out of this vehicle. We're done.
No, just let me do it.
Okay. Yes or no? We're going to do field sobriety.
No, just let me. Oh my gosh.
I take that as a no.
It's strange seeing a 47-year-old lieutenant this scared of accountability, and it made his role as a supervisor very questionable. A taser seemed to get him to comply, but the officers didn't want to use force against a fellow officer, and so they had to put up with his childish behavior, but not for long.
If you're not going to do field sobriety test, turn around, place your hands on your back, you're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
You are under arrest.
No, don't.
You are under arrest. Don't resist, Brian.
No,
come on.
Come on. Okay, stop.
You're
stop.
under. You're not
no,
going to.
I'm not resisting, but don't. Let's stop.
You're tensed up.
Let's talk about it. Okay.
We've talked.
No.
You're under arrest.
No.
Place your hands behind your back.
No.
Don't make it even worse.
No, I'm not. Let's talk about it. Let's just.
No. Stop. I don't want to put you on the ground.
No.
I don't want to make this worse.
All right, I will just sleep it off.
You're. Dude, stop it right now. You know.
Stop tensing up, man.
I'm not. I'm not.
Stop it.
I'm not. I don't need those on.
You are getting handcuffs on because you're fighting us the entire time. No. Have a seat.
No.
Brian.
No. Just think about it.
I'm done.
No.
In my car. In my car. Get in there. Crawl in. I don't care. You're sitting down. You're sitting down in my car.
Let's talk about it, buddy.
Sit down and we'll talk.
No, we won't.
Okay, then sit down and we won't talk, regardless. Baby, just sit down.
Have a seat.
Stop, guys.
Have a seat. Watch your head.
No.
In my car.
No. Stop. I'm not gonna fight.
I just grab his shoulder and start pulling him. Brian, please don't kick me. That's all I'm going to ask.
No, no.
Bring your foot in and sit upright. There's one, there's two, and sit.
Stay right here.
No.
Yes.
Just let.
Brian, don't.
Stop. Why are you doing this to a fellow?
Why are you doing this to a fellow cop?
It took 4 minutes to place him in the vehicle, and it was very shocking that the officers managed to maintain professionalism. He was taken to the sheriff's office, where his blood alcohol content was registered at .28, 3 times the legal limit, earning him a citation for OWI. He's still employed by the sheriff's office, but is no longer a lieutenant, holds no command responsibility, and is no longer sworn law enforcement officer. A drunk driving supervisor isn't particularly shocking to most people, but the next supervisor felt he was too big to be pulled over, and he would do something completely unheard of to his deputy.
Are you seriously talking to me like that? Are you seriously serious about this?
On September 17, 2017, Boynton Beach Police Officer Mark Zahn pulled over a vehicle for going 97 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone, but he soon realized that the car was registered to his off-duty supervisor, Major Michael Johnson, who would not appreciate the stop.
I'm sorry, sir?
Seriously?
Well, you were speeding.
Okay.
What's that?
You're right.
I'm trying to do my job.
Okay. On my license.
Okay. Temporary, that's a tag. 22. Don't worry about it. worry about it.
Seriously, go ahead.
I'm not gonna write you a ticket. I have the discretion. But you know you were speeding, so.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Drive safe.
Police officers usually have the discretion to issue citations, and because his supervisor was the last person Deputy Mark wanted to issue a citation to, he decided to let him go with a warning. The deputy drove away from the scene, and the incident appeared over. But suddenly, cop lights lit up behind him, and it was his supervisor instructing him to pull over to remind him that he had the higher power.
You seriously talk to me like that? You just failed to signal your lane change, and you also failed to make your left turn.
My left turn.
When you made your left turn off I-95 on the overpass, you didn't have your signal on. Are you seriously serious about this?
First of all, I didn't know who you were.
I got that. What was
I was at 97 miles an hour behind you. 97.
What was my speed, Mark?
97.
What was my speed?
97.
Not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance. I've never hit 100 in this car in my life.
Okay. But you also agreed you were speeding, right?
Put your body camera on?
It is on.
Please make sure it is on.
It is on. It was on before.
I agreed that I was speeding. You want to write me a ticket?
No, I didn't write you a ticket.
You really talk to me like that?
Sir, you stuck your hands out the window going, seriously?
No, I put my hands out the window so you didn't do something silly.
No, sir.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. Listen, all I'm saying is the traffic laws apply to me just like they do to you. But this is ridiculous. Seriously? And then you sit there and I'm willing to give you my driver's license.
I'm allowed to do discussion, am I not?
Mark, come on.
Do you want a ticket?
Yes, if that's what you want to give me.
That's not what I wanted to give you.
It's ridiculous that you and I are having this discussion.
The supervisor felt it was ridiculous to get pulled over by his deputy, so he pulled him over during his working hours and prevented him from handling serious crimes, something completely unheard of. His ego was hurt, but he didn't want to say it, and this wasn't even the first time he'd done something like this.
Do I have to say for the safety?
Remember in 2006 when you stopped me in my Tahoe and you said I was speeding on South
Yes,
Central?
Officer Adams and I, we stopped you because your vehicle matched the description of a 41 vehicle from West Palm Beach that was involved in a shooting. You shoved your hands out the window, did the same thing, and said, seriously? You said, seriously? I'm like, we looked at each other like, are you kidding? We didn't know you were in Canton. We didn't know if this was an undercover operation. And then you start arguing with us that you weren't speeding.
I'm not going to argue with you, Mark.
I'm not arguing either, but that's what happened.
Have I, at any point in time, have I cursed at you or been disrespectful to you?
No, have I?
No, of course. I'm not accusing you of that. All I'm saying is, listen, if I was speeding, I apologize. Okay? But at the same time, once you know it's me and you're not going to give me a ticket, I don't need I offer you my license. I offered you everything. But I really, I don't get it. Like, as soon as you know it's me, if you want to give me a ticket, I'm happy to take it. At the same time as pick one or the other, but don't give me the diatribe. I don't need that. Just like I would never do that to anybody on the street. I either give them a ticket or I send them on their way.
The major wanted preferential treatment, but got none and drove off in his vehicle. He received a reprimand for speeding and conduct unbecoming of a police officer. However, both officers remain employed with the department, but that isn't the case for the next officer, who beat up a 58-year-old disabled man and then lied to avoid the consequences.
Can I get a card from you?
I don't have one there. We don't have one. They don't give us cards.
Hold on. We have cards. Thank you.
On August 26, 2021, 911 dispatch received a call that a man wearing a burgundy shirt was walking with a gun around an Orangeburg neighborhood. So, Officer David Dukes immediately arrived on the scene, but things would take a very unexpected turn.
Hey, let me see your hands. Berg, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right here! Get on the ground! You, burgundy shirt, get on the ground! Over here! On the ground! On the ground! Get on the ground! Do you not listen? Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! There's a gun behind me. There's a gun, I believe, behind me.
I ain't got no gun, nothing.
Put your hands behind your back. Is there a gun back there?
Ain't no gun.
By that truck. Paul, no, you watch him say? He had something.
I ain't own no gun.
The door's unlocked. It's not always so.
No, he was right here. Watch him. Go watch him. There it is. Alright, that's what he had.
58-year-old Clarence Gaillard was a disabled man who had rods and pins in his leg, which forced him to move slowly. He also claimed that the object he was seen with was used to protect himself if a dog were to attack. He was now bleeding after his head was stomped onto the concrete, but Officer Dukes had other concerns.
Yep.
Listen.
Yep, they slammed my head down on the cement. Yep.
Go back inside. Go back in the house. Go back in the house. Ain't nobody talking to you.
I got head trauma.
Go back in the house.
Yep. Y'all bust my head down. Yeah, I've been in an accident. Yep. Y'all bust my head down. You threw me down.
I sure did. You wasn't listening.
Yep. No, it ain't. You had to throw me down like that. I'm disability.
Okay.
I got head problem. Yep. You threw me down. Yep. You threw me down. You threw me down.
He was in front of the car when I came up. And he was walking like this. And I thought it was a gun at first. I said, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun. I had him at gunpoint. And he's over here doing something like this.
You slammed my head. You slammed my
What
head
he was doing is
down
putting this up behind the tire. So he comes over right here. He got his hands in his pockets. I'm telling him, let me see your hands, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
Bust my head.
He wasn't listening.
No, it ain't.
He got the, like this right here,
You grabbed me.
and we went onto the ground.
You bust my head down
That's what
on the cement.
What are we doing? I guess Sam was going to check him out.
There ain't nothing over here want to press charges on.
Who called?
I'm not sure.
Take him out of cuffs right now. I mean, because that's what we got.
You're going to have to use it for us.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Slam my head down.
Dude, I didn't know what his
You
intention
use
was.
it for us. You need to have a look at the camera.
All right. Mayor, I'm going to take that in the evidence of what he had.
What?
Well, I mean, you know, that's the reasons I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
No gun or nothing.
Because when he was behind the truck, I couldn't see what he was doing. And I didn't know where
There ain't nothing there.
where that went. If it was still in his pockets when he come around that car with his hands in his pockets.
These dogs on. No.
On camera.
Yeah, my
All
dogs
right, that's
sick.
fine.
The father had to be taken by ambulance, and the family was terrified. A lawsuit was inevitable by now, and Officer Dukes, slowly realizing this, wanted to cover his tracks. But no one would have expected him to show this level of incompetence.
Can I get a card from you?
I don't have one now. We don't have one. They don't give us cards.
Okay, what's your badge number?
1059.
Let me see if I can get my phone.
Hold on. We have cards. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brandon, he can get his stuff off the car.
Dude, will you say badge number?
1059.
Lying to conceal his identity was the ultimate show of corruption, and even the sergeant and fellow officers were done with him. Mr. Clarence was taken to the hospital, and his injury from the incident left a scar on his head. He sued the city of Orangeburg for the excessive use of force and was eventually given a $650,000 settlement. Dukes was fired 2 days after the incident and arrested on first-degree assault and battery charges. The female sergeant was praised for calling out his lies, but the next female superior had to show this officer how to do his job after he had a huge ego trip and threatened to physically assault someone for taking pictures.
No,
Have your fun
I'm telling
now.
you now, you're not going to touch me.
Have your fun
I'm
now.
telling you now.
When she comes, she's going to make the
Yep,
final
and
decision.
you're not going to touch me.
In March of 2023, a constitutional rights advocate and auditor walked into the General Services Administration in Philadelphia to record the areas of the building accessible to the public. But he was met with great pushback by guards and staff at the federal building, telling him that he couldn't record.
You're a public servant.
You were recording me without my permission.
So that means that you're a
In the state of Pennsylvania, that's against the law.
So you should. So if you feel that that's against the law, you should call law enforcement, ma'am.
Your video.
Ma'am, if you feel that's against the law, you should call law enforcement, and maybe they can educate you. What's your name, ma'am? As a public servant for the federal government?
To answer that to you.
You don't need to.
No, I
It's
don't.
just common
Are you
courtesy
still
of a public
recording
servant. Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay, great. Then I'm definitely not going to answer it.
Okay. Why would I stop recording? You've been nothing but hostile since the moment you made contact with me.
You were walking in an inappropriate area.
I was
of the building,
not.
Sir. You were.
I was
you
not.
You were behind the area and recording staff.
I didn't go
members
behind
of
the sign.
building.
I didn't go behind the sign that said restricted area.
To that.
You take offense.
I do.
So you saw me recording and you decided to interject yourself into my recording and take offense to it.
That's exactly what I did.
There's big red signs that say restricted area, employees only, VA employees only. That would be restricted area. There's nothing that restricts this area. But I'll wait for FPS.
What was your name?
My name's Sean.
So Sean, your interpretation of our signage,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that your interpretation
Or lack thereof.
is correct.
Or lack thereof of
Absolutely.
signage.
Or
Yeah.
lack thereof. That's
Okay,
correct.
so that's why we'll wait for law enforcement.
As the government official and the second in command in this building, I'm telling you that that area is not open for you to record and for you to access.
Okay,
Given
well-
that you're not a customer, you're not a veteran. If you're a customer, you tell me what you need, and I'll make sure that we get you the help that
Well,
you need. But if you're not
My
a
tax
customer-
dollars go. My tax, respectfully, Pedro. My tax dollars go to fund this building, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have a right to check up on my government, and that's what I'll bring up to FPS and maybe even your boss.
Sure. No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Sure. Wait here for FPS.
It became so serious that a Department of Homeland Security officer was called to resolve the issue. But instead of mitigating the already tense space, he made things a whole lot worse.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can I get your name and badge number, please?
You can have my badge number.
Not your name.
That's all I'm required to give you by law.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
required
fine.
to give you my name, and you're
It's
not
not
gonna
about.
get it.
It's not. It's not about being
3
required.
502. That's my identity. So let me ask you, what is your business here?
Do I have to answer that question
Yes,
by
you
law?
do. Yes, you do.
By
'Cause
law?
You're in a federal facility.
So that doesn't mean that I have to answer your questions because
Yes,
I
you-
answered a federal
You-
facility.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Because you want to be technical by
Here's
the law. Let's
Here's
be
the law
technical
right
by
here
the
that
law.
says that you have to.
Yeah. No, that doesn't say
41
that.
CFR 102-7.
Show me where it says that I have to answer your questions.
You have to be here on official business.
I am here
can
on official
ask you whether
business.
what that official business is when you come into a federal facility.
It's a constitutionally protected business.
What's your federal business? What's your official business?
I would refer you, sir, to the DHS memo.
What's your official business?
Are you familiar with the
You're not
2000?
going to answer the question.
I'm referring you to you are
going to
DHS,
Are you
correct?
going to answer the question?
So you're
You wanna
DHS.
answer- I asked you a question first. You answered my question
I'm
with
going
the
to.
question.
I'm not answering with a question, sir. I'm
You
telling
did.
you.
You haven't answered my question yet.
I'm telling
What's
you,
your
as
official
DHS,
business? What's your
I'm telling
official
you to
business?
look at the DHS memo.
From his first words, it was clear that this officer's only interest was to escalate the situation. He wanted the auditor to bow to his perceived superiority and leave the building or challenge him and be thrown out of the building.
We have a special agent on
What
the
you
way up
explain
here.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. She's
Maybe
going
he
to
will
make
be.
the judgment call whether you could be here or not. And if not, I'm going to throw you out.
You're not going to touch me. That's for sure. I'm telling you now, you're not going to throw
I'm
me
letting you
out.
know that now. So have
And
your
I'm
fun
telling
now.
you now.
Have your fun
I'm telling you
now.
now, you're not going to touch me.
Have your fun
I'm
now.
telling you now.
When she comes, she's going to make the
Yep.
final
And
decision.
you're not going to touch me.
All
That's
right.
for sure.
There's nothing you can
There's
do
no
about
need
it.
for that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You're not going to touch me. I know that.
What are you going to do if I do?
Don't worry about it. Do it.
I have a legal right to
Do it. No, you don't.
You have to abide by the rules.
No, you have to abide by
It
the
is
rules.
right
There's
here.
a DHS memo from 2018. Why aren't you abiding by your own rules? Your own policies and procedures.
The DHS memo
from
does not supersede the law.
2018. Read it. Read it. Read it.
41 CFR 102-74.
Yeah, what does it say?
Says that you can come into.
Let me see.
Read it. Read it.
Sure.
I brought it in here especially for you so you could see.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So this is a memo on First Amendment auditors. Is that who I am?
Is that what you are claiming to be?
Never once.
Okay.
Never once claimed to be that.
You're showing characteristic traits that's what you are.
Oh, you're showing characteristic traits that you're a tyrant. By saying you're going to throw me out.
If I was a tyrant, I would have threw you out.
The job of a Homeland Security personnel is to respond to and mitigate security incidents. The auditor passed through a metal detector and so was unharmed, but the officer didn't fail to mention repeatedly that he would get physical with him, escalating the situation effortlessly. However, the special agent had arrived and would show him how to properly do his job.
This is special agent right here.
Hi, how are you, ma'am? Yeah, how are you? I'm sorry?
I just want to show you my credentials.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I'm a special agent with FPS. What's going on?
Hi, I'm just in the publicly, there's a DHS memo from 2018. I'm just in the publicly accessible areas. My name is Sean. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not, the ADA here says that I can't take pictures of employees, but I have a right to film government employees in the course of their duty, and the DHS memo, there's no need for you to put those on. There's no need. So You see your officer here is threatening to throw me out and get physical with me. I have not once escalated the situation. Yeah, you said you were going to throw me out.
I'm good. I'm gonna walk away. Okay. I'm gonna be right here.
I have not once escalated the situation. I've identified. No, I don't need any. I don't need any help. I'm just taking some pictures of building of the government in the publicly accessible areas of this building here. Okay. That's all. I'm working on a story. I'm a journalist. That's it. And I haven't bothered anyone. I'm not doing anything wrong. I've been very reasonable. I've identified myself. I don't know what else I can do to.
No, you're fine. And just so I'm clear, do you have any business with the VA today?
I have no business directly with them, other than asking questions. I'm just taking some pictures in the publicly accessible areas, ma'am. That's it. That's all.
You're good.
All right, thank you.
What did you say your name was?
My name is Sean.
Sean?
Yeah,
Okay.
my name's Sean. I'm an independent journalist.
Did you
You'll
go
see.
through security screening?
I did. Yes, I did.
You have any
Of course. No, I went through the security screening.
Just checking.
Yeah, no, nothing. I obviously have nothing on me. I'm just taking some pictures of video in the publicly accessible areas of this building, and that's all I'm going to do. And you said your name was? I didn't.
Special Agent Kingsley.
Kingsley. Thank you, Special Agent Kingsley. I appreciate it. Okay. Have a good day.
The special agent showed professionalism, made necessary inquiries, answered questions as asked, and even offered to help. All steps to successfully de-escalate any conflict. In under 2 minutes, she had shown the staff, guards, and DHS officer how to handle and resolve conflict with a mutually respectful conversation. The auditor stayed for a few more minutes before eventually exiting the building. As predicted by the auditor, the DHS officer didn't get the chance to touch him, but the next officer not only touched, but tased an innocent man, and he would receive the ultimate humiliation for that.
He's under arrest.
For what?
For trespassing and for disorderly conduct.
On public property, dipshit! What the fuck is wrong with you?
On July 28, 2016, officers in Commerce City, Colorado received a report about 2 protesters causing a disturbance outside a government building. Officers Chris Dickey and Ryan Sedgwick arrived to meet 2 men singing wild chants with banners held high.
Would you mind just lowering that for me? Would you mind lowering it for me? I don't want it used as a weapon against me, okay?
I'm not going to use it as a weapon.
Would you please lower it down for me?
You would do well to stay clear of me.
Okay. Gentlemen, we need to talk for a minute, okay?
Am I a suspect
Here's the
in
thing.
crime?
Yes, you are.
Which crime specifically am I a suspect?
Trespassing.
Trespassing?
You have been asked to leave the property, okay? Right
So
now
I'm
you are
setting this down
trespassing.
so that it's
Perfectly.
not a weapon.
Awesome. I totally
Let me
appreciate
advise you
that.
that this is public property.
Actually, this is private property that you're on
Oh,
right
it
now.
is?
It is.
Who owns it?
The Adams County government.
The Adams County government. Oh, I forgot about his name. Didn't he run for president? No, he's not a person, it's the public! What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Sir?
No justice, no peace, fuck the police!
Keep an eye out all the way around, please. You've been asked to leave the property.
Yeah?
You are now committing trespassing, okay? That's all we're asking you to do, is to leave the property.
I need your card.
I will give you my information when we're done.
No, you're
okay.
giving it to me now.
No,
Yeah,
I will give it to you when we're done.
Before you take any
It's
official action.
it's Officer Dickey, right here.
That's what your thing
Badge
says.
number 2905. Okay.
So, Mr. Dickey, why are you removing
It's Officer
me from
Dickey.
public prop? No, it's Mr. Dickey.
I'm removing you from private property because you were asked to
not
leave
private
this property. Yes.
Do you see any posted signs? No, this is a building open to the public.
While army bases and correctional facilities are highly restricted from public access, most government properties are accessible to the public, and protesting outside a human services building was well within bounds. The protesters had every right to stay, but they chose to leave anyway and continue their protests on the sidewalk. However, the officer followed behind them, thinking he was right, but would soon discover just how wrong he was.
I need your ID, please, so I can write you a summons.
You will be willing to write me a summons?
Yes.
Outstanding.
I need your ID also, please, sir. Okay, I'm going to place you under arrest then.
You're not placing me under arrest.
Come here.
You have no right to ask for anything.
Come here. All right. Taser. Got it. Go. He is under arrest.
The protester was hit by one of the tasers, but it was surprising that he could outrun 2 officers even while holding a big banner. The taser did hurt him, but the officer would receive a much embarrassing hurt from his supervisor.
He's under arrest.
For what?
For trespassing and for disorderly conduct.
On public property, dipshit! What the fuck is wrong with you?
When he's in front of the business, yelling "fuck everybody."
That's not you see this sign? It says "fuck cops." You want to know why? Because cops like you keep fucking.
And he refused to give me his ID, which he's required to do.
For what?
So I could issue him a citation for trespassing.
It's not trespassing.
They kicked him out of the property.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Officer Dickey turned off his body cam, but it was clear that his supervisor would stop any further confrontations with the protesters. At the time of the incident, there were at least 250 complaints filed by citizens against the Commerce City police officers, alleging the use of excessive force, and interestingly enough, Dickey had been the subject of at least 5 such complaints. The taser he deployed remained stuck in the protester's arm and required surgical removal at the hospital. After the incident, he sued Commerce City for violation of his First and Fourth Amendment rights and was awarded $175,000 in settlement. It's unclear if Officer Dickey still works with the department, but everyone remains thankful that there was a good cop ready to put the corrupt cop in check.